I love to do that. I make money with that. I build my personal brand with it. But also to athletes who go in pro, that's one thing that I'm so passionate about. Build your personal brand because you don't know how long you're going to last. Your body can only do so much.
Right.
Build your brand.
That brand will be forever.
Their brand is going to be there forever. There's a reason why Michael Jordan is to this level that he is now. There's a reason LeBron is a billionaire. There's a reason Steph Curry is making the money he's making. Because they're building personal brands and they're going beyond the sports.
Welcome back to the Developing Athletes Podcast. I got my girl here, Courtside Les. We may have bumped into each other one time or two in yoga. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen you since.
You didn't bump into me. You were struggling there.
I was struggling.
You couldn't even stand straight.
Hey, yoga is tough, man.
It's not tough. You just have to breathe.
In a 120-degree room?
Wait, see, this is why, because, okay, we're going to get into this. You played basketball. I played tennis.
Yeah.
So, we train outside. It's 105 to 110 degrees outside in the summer. We outside.
I'm in an air-conditioned gym.
Yes, and that's why they say that you cannot compare tennis athletes and basketball because endurance goes way further in tennis. Boom.
I'm pretty sure it does because, if we in high school, what we used to do, we used to cut the air off to kind of mess with the other team, and we used to practice in the heat, so we was kind of used to it. That was like our advantage.
But it's different heat when you're in the sun.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's a very different heat.
You're gonna fall out,
and you also dehydrated because it's so bright.
But you talking about the sun? But you grew up in Russia. It was cold, right? The sun went out at that much.
Okay, we're gonna give you a geography lesson, and everybody too.
Let's do it.
In Russia we have 4 seasons, and they're extreme. So we actually have very hot summers, especially in Siberia, and very cold winters.
Okay.
And so there's 4 seasons. There's spring, so that's when the snow starts melting. In the summer, it's really hot, and then fall. It's kind of like fall here, but the fall starts in September till October. November, that's when the winter starts already. So it's cold.
Okay.
It's minus 37 right now. Celsius. It's cold as shit.
Oh shit, minus.
But it's gonna be cold here too.
But it ain't gonna be minus 37.
But it's gonna be minus 15 Celsius here, so it's
Oh, okay. So cause we do Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I know, Fahrenheit.
So
whatever that means.
I don't even know the conversion. I'm gonna have to ask ChatGPT.
So 0 is 33, I believe it's 0 degrees. Or 32 is 0 degrees.
0 degrees Fahrenheit is negative 33
no.
Celsius.
32 Fahrenheit is 0 Celsius. So negative 37 is about negative 30 Fahrenheit.
Okay, so we're about 30 points off.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah.
But when it goes negative, it don't matter. It's just negative.
Okay, so let's talk about growing up in Russia. What was that like? And I know you spent a lot of your adult life in, Atlanta or, United States. What's the difference? Because I played in Ukraine, and Ukraine is connected to Russia. And I'm
Used to.
Well, yeah.
Used to be.
Yeah. We're not connected, but, it's their own thing, but by a border.
Yeah.
So it's when I was in Ukraine, I felt like I was in Russia. It was just,
Back then, yes, for sure. Because back then it was I still believe we're brothers and sisters, so I don't really separate. To me, Ukrainians are my brothers and sisters, so I do not, condone the war. I'm not with that. But Russia it's very strict. It's especially as an athlete. I was just talking to my mom today. We are very big on being perfectionists. So you got to get good grades. You got to get all A's. You got to, if you're an athlete, you got to be, if you're not number 1, you're just nobody. You're complete trash. So if you're competing, you always have to compete for top spots. If you're not with tennis, especially, I was always pushed to be top 10. Because our draws are different. We have draws of 32 or 64. It just depends. So if you're in the bracket, it's it's 32 players, and then so you always have to be top 10. So you have to have enough points to be in the top. So it was very strict, and it's a lot of if you have a headache, go to your swim lesson. It's gonna fix it. You feeling sick? It's okay. Go play tennis. You're gonna feel better. So it's never go rest. Hell, we don't know what rest is.
Right. So y'all just always going.
We going. So, and I think it's such a bad influence on me now because to me, to be able to rest now, it's I really have to force myself to do it. Because if I don't do something during the day, I'm oh my God, I'm useless. I'm literally useless. So I'm always so anxious and so trying to do things and just I can't sit down. That's why my brand is talk less, do more. Because it's I always do shit.
I like that. Talk less, do more.
Talk less, do more.
I love that. Like, I want to hear what you got to say. Like, what are you doing?
What
like,
I'm doing?
No, not
Oh,
you.
yeah.
But like, what are you doing? Like, because
Yeah.
people like to talk, and it's like, nah, what's the results? Like, what you doing?
Well, especially like with tennis now, I post so much content with tennis and everything that goes somewhat viral. Like there's a video going viral right now. Obviously, I chopped it up to the point where people can see me freaking out on the court, like where I threw my racket into the fence. First of all, I'm throwing it into the fence. I'm not hitting my racket off the ground. So I'm not trying to break my racket because I'm not stupid. But like I'm emotional. And so now people are talking about, oh, you're so disrespectful to your coach. You're disrespectful to the game. You're this, you're that. And I'm like, but what are y'all doing? And then somebody took the video and chopped it up and then posted as theirs. So like they repurposed my content. And then this guy was like some like really chubby man in his bed talking about my tennis. And I'm like, bro, when was the last time you worked out? Yeah. I'm not even asking if you're eating healthy because it's not looking like you do.
Yeah.
But why are you in your bed talking about me playing tennis and having some sort of, negative comments about that when you're not even looking like you play anything?
So what was his beef with you? Like,
I think he's some sort of online coach and he has something, he's just always very negative because, social media is negative. So you have to be negative in order to get attention.
Yeah.
If you want to grow in social media, you have to come up with some crazy things. That's why when I learned that if I post something like breaking my racket, then it's going to go crazy. If I post, in an outfit that's more revealing, that's going to go crazy. If I post a good match or if I post a good point, nobody cares. Because people want something negative because I feel like it's like...
That's what they on there for.
they want to express their like negativity in the comments. And I get it. I mean, it is what it is, but that's what gets us paid, So if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do that. I'm just going to feed into it. And I think his beef was that he was trying to tell me that my coach is not doing a good job. And he was trying to tell me that like, he basically was trying to sell his services to me because later on I got a DM from him that, hey, if you want to improve your game, you can purchase this course and you can do the self-development. I'm like, bro, I've been playing tennis for 27 years. I don't need your course. You're in your bed trying to tell me.
Beef.
Yeah. And I was like, don't even see the thing about me though. I'm so quick to like ignore you. I got this, I got the reel sent to me from my tennis group because like we have a group chat. They sent it to me and I was like, yeah, I'm not even gonna watch it because I know what's going on. I don't want to give you my watch hours. I'm not gonna give you my likes. I'm not gonna give you my comments. He followed me. He started like DMing me. I'm like, bro, I ain't doing this.
So they hate and really secretly want to be a part of it.
They hate, but the thing is like, you know how hate goes? Especially like there's this one basketball player that I know. He used to be in the NBA like big time, right? But there's so much hate towards him online. And I remember we had lunch in person and we were in a very public place in Atlanta. And everybody was taking pictures with him. Everybody was like, oh my God, I'm a fan of yours. You're my idol, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is so crazy. And he taught me back then, he was like, this is how online is not real because everybody's hating you. But in person, everybody's praising you.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing. If they meet me in person, man, they hug me, they love me, they always want to do some like, work with me, do content with me because I'm a good person. Like,
right. And the haters, they'll never say it in person. That's the thing.
But I'm like, tell it to my face.
Feel free. They feel free online. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, that's another thing about me too. Like in tennis, I'm kind of like in basketball, I'm a trash talker. Like I will literally talk back to you. And if you try, like, I don't think I'm like the best tennis player out there, but I know I can play tennis. And so I play with a lot of men and they always, try to like compete with me and I'll talk that trash with them. I love it. I'm like, I'm going to get the gears going there.
But at 6'2", you don't think that's an advantage? Playing tennis? That's not an advantage?
Oh, I thought trash talking. I don't think 6'2" has anything to do with that. No. Tennis, yeah, definitely. The only thing is like, I hate to move.
So you just like, you just brute force or?
I like to reach. That's why I think I never like went pro because my legs are tired. The other day, this is what got me. I was like, I know what it is. I'm just so scared to go full in and not have enough energy for the next point because like tennis can be brutal. It can be like hours and hours and hours long, right? So when you play one point really well, the next one I'm like, man, I'm terrified. Like I won't have enough energy to do the same thing again. So it's like it's more mental. But for me, because I'm so tall, I need to really learn to get down and I have a very extreme grip. So like if I don't get down, I can't really get the best shots. And I'm working on it, but I'm like still working on it. It's just sometimes I'm like, man, I'm so tired. Like I usually go to practice when I haven't eaten anything, and it's like I'm exhausted my body to the point where it's like you need to rest.
Yeah. So I know you was a college tennis All-American, right?
Community college, but yeah, I was.
Oh, you JUCO All-American.
JUCO
Ain't
All-American.
nothing wrong with that. Like that's the top of the top.
I'm proud of that because I put my JUCO on the map. Foothill College in California became one of the top attracting tennis colleges for tennis players. We had international players coming on. My team, my 2 years that we were there, we put them on the map. We were on top of the top. I was number 1 and number 2. The first year I was number 2. The second year I was number 1. We were All-American. We went so far in the state. I was always ranked. But I had a fan base. Man, I had literally there was a group of people, if you have a JUCO tennis, nobody cares about that, right?
Yeah.
But for me, they loved me because I'm always I'm crazy. I would always yell. I would always scream. I'd be like, fuck the etiquette. We hyping each other up. It was crazy. It was such a great time. So yeah. You can look it up. I mean, I don't want to share my last name, but yeah, I was an All-American.
Okay. No, so after JUCO All-American, what did you go after that?
So it was actually a very painful story because when I came to America, I didn't know that the process I wasn't supposed to play tennis. I quit tennis years ago. I quit tennis at 14.
Did you ever play basketball?
No. Hell no. My mom said you will never play basketball or musical instruments because my mom was a professional basketball player and she was like, my daughter will never play basketball. My mom is 5'11".
What was the reason for that?
She's 5'11", and I think she was a guard, and she got elbowed a lot because a lot of women were taller than her. She played for the national team in Russia. So she played until she was 27, until she had me. And she was like, I don't want my daughter to play that sport. So I want my daughter to play individual sport, something that's more classy, something that she was like, I want the sport to make money. So she was really thinking about that. She was thinking ahead. My mom was very smart.
Tennis makes money. WNBA, they still got a little ways to go.
Oh, if it wasn't for tennis, I wouldn't stay in this country. I was able to coach. My first money I was making was with tennis. I remember my first $40 I made was from coaching for an hour. This little kid. I remember they paid me $90 because they gave me a $10 tip. It was 2 hours. It was $40 an hour. Where else would you make $40 an hour as your first job? You can't. It's impossible.
Right.
But with tennis, I was doing private lessons and it was $50 to $60 an hour when everybody else was doing $120, and I was making money because I was busy. I was coaching so much. So after JUCO, I could not go D1 because I didn't know you had to apply so early on. And for scholarships, you have to go in advance. So I wasn't aware because I came to America when I was 19. I walked on the tennis court to do my PE class. And the coach was like, who are you? I'm like, Lesia, what's up? He goes, can you hit, he was like, hit another ball. So I started hitting a couple balls. He's like, what in the world? We've never seen anything of a kind. A girl who's this big and she can hit the ball. So he's like, I need you here tomorrow for practice. I was like, what practice? He's like, you going to be on a tennis team? I'm like, nah. He's like, yeah, you are. I'm like, I ain't got money to pay. He's like, you don't need to. And I was like, wait, what? I was so confused because in my mind, tennis was equal money. And I'm like, I don't have it, so I'm not going to play.
He saw something in you then.
Oh, he saw something in me. He bought my tennis rackets. He bought my tennis shoes. Shout out to Coach Dixie, Foothill College. He's still there, still coaching. He's super old now, but he was literally the best mentor ever because he took me under his wing and then he took care of everything and anything. And it was just so, I just got so blessed because it was Coach Dixie, Coach Randy. He's still in California too. He's in the Palo Alto University Tennis Club. He was coaching me. He was my hitting coach outside of the coaching practice, outside of the regular practices. And they made me to what I'm now. It was them. It was their job. It was their work. And I was on the court for 5 hours. And I was just like, okay, because, I quit at 14. So I'm 19 at this point. And I'm coming back. I haven't played tournaments in 5 to 6 years.
So you quit tennis at 14 and came back at 19?
Yes.
What made you quit?
My elbow. I had a tennis elbow.
Tennis elbow.
And
I heard of that.
So I left Russia when I was 14. I moved to Australia to learn English. So I was between Australia and Russia because I had to graduate high school. So it was kind of I was in Australia for 4 months, back in Russia. Then I was in Europe for half of the time because my mom was working with Europe. So I was traveling so much, and it was no time for tennis. It was I'm trying to finish everything up because I knew I'm going to overseas to go to school. So I knew I'm either going to Australia, UK, or America. It was 3 choices. So I had to quit because I didn't have time. And I had a really bad elbow. And back then, that was 2009. they didn't have any remedies for that. They didn't know that you can do like, you know, this PT massages, you know, the strings were not there yet. The rackets were not what they are now. So there's so many things that were not to the level that is now. Now I know how to prevent injuries. Back then, we didn't even work out in the gym. Yeah, it was just tennis.
So look, so you went down under. You went to Australia. How was the Australian life?
I loved it. It was so amazing. You know,
Sydney or Perth or?
So I went to, my first year was in Noosa Beach. I'm 14. You know, I'm from Russia. We drink. We get lit, okay? I went to a club.
When y'all started drinking in Russia? What age?
I was 12. So let me tell you a story. At 12 years old, I remember my mom drove me to a nightclub. But mind you, my mom knew the owner. She knew everybody. It's very safe. Like my mom like owns a business, so she's connected to people in Russia. And she drove me to a nightclub, and then she was like, okay, I'll pick you guys up in 3 hours. So it was me, my brother, and a couple of our friends. We were all like 12 to 14. And my brother gets denied access. And I'm like, what the fuck? But they didn't card back then, you know? So I walk in, I just go through because I'm this height. I'm literally this height at 12 years old.
You were 6'2" as well?
I was 6'2" at 12.
No way. I don't believe that.
I'll show you pictures. I was 6'2" at 12. My brother, and then my mom was like, she called the owner. She's like, hey, you know, let him in. So he had to go through this experience of being denied into the nightclub by the bodyguard. So we go in, and then I remember I had one drink. I had like a pina colada, and my mom like gave us like whatever the amount of money was. So we went to a first club, and then she picked us up, and we went back. And then I kind of like, okay, well, this is cool. This is fun. So I started going out when I was 12. But it would be like, my mom obviously would be very much like, she's always trusted us. Like, Russia is different than America. I would never let my kid to go out in America. There's no drugs like that. Like, you can't really, especially because I'm from Siberia, so it's smaller. And it was way too safe. Everybody was just dancing there. Like, literally, it was, clubs were for teenagers dancing. Like literally
fun, yeah.
Fun. Like, actual, it was like kind of like, you know, the school dances, but it was in a nightclub, and they had alcohol. That's it. But back then, nobody was carding. And when I went to Australia my first year, man, I remember we would like, because I was still playing tennis, I would play tennis for this like district thing with like just locals there, because it was fun. Like, that's how I was meeting people. And one of the kids was 18, and so he was able to buy alcohol. So I'd always let him buy alcohol and then go to the beach and get fucked up drunk every night. Like, we would just go at night to the beach and then like sit in front of the ocean and drink. It would be like Jack and Coke. I remember that was like our go-to.
Nah, that's dope. That's dope. Sitting in front of the ocean and drinking.
Yes, it's the best.
I think I'm due for that.
Me too.
It's time to go.
That was the life, because it was, you know, we were 14. We didn't need much. It wasn't like we couldn't go to clubs in Australia because like you would get carded, and we couldn't, you know, I couldn't get in. The only clubs you could go was gay clubs. That's it. Like, that's the gay clubs, and then we would drink at the Korean restaurants because they were selling soju in there. So we would just, you know, it would be a bunch of international students would go to the beach.
You got to run away from that soju. That soju will get you in.
Oh my God, it would get me every time.
I was in South Korea, man. That's the first thing I learned about that soju. Like, be careful.
It will get you, but it was so fun. Like, it was such an easy life, honestly, because I remember I had $100 for a week. It was my spending budget. I was living in like a host family. You know, like you basically rent a room from them, and they feed you twice a day. So, you know, whatever money I had, we would like, you know, buy alcohol or like buy cookies or like sweets or whatever. And life was so simple. And it's just, I was walking everywhere. I was just enjoying life. It was great. It was so fun. And so my first year I was in Noosa Beach, and then 2 last years I was in Sydney. Oh, I loved Sydney. I would go there again.
So what made you leave? Was your time up in Australia or?
So I was 17, and it was like right before I was going to make a decision where I'm going to college. And my last year in Australia, 3 days before I did the international exam, our house got robbed.
When you say robbed, what you mean?
Literally, we had some drug addicts. They broke into the house, and it was like burglared, whatever the word is. They broke into the house.
Burglary.
They put the guns next to the owners' faces. It was so bad. Like, it was so bad. So
they got guns in Australia?
Oh, I guess. I was 17. So my room was the furthest one down the hall. And so they did not walk into my room. But before I went to sleep, I left my laptop and my camera and all my stuff, like all my expensive stuff in the living room, because I always left it there. Like, I was always studying in the living room. And I went to sleep super late. So I went to sleep like an hour before they broke into the house. So they broke into the house and they like basically the whole house was upside down. And it was just a scary experience because it's like I was like, damn, because the owners, they're also super old. Like they were like in their 70s. And so I kind of like in the morning, I woke up like the police was like knocking on my door and they're waking me up. They're like, hey, did you hear anything? And I'm like, hear what? Mind you, like I just learned English. I don't even speak English to this level. Like I'm like, I'm good, but I'm not that good. And I was like, what happened? And I'm walking in and it's like the whole house is upside down. My laptop is gone. My camera is gone. And I had this like nice ass camera. Like it was like Canon something. My mom got it for me for my birthday. And so I'm like, oh my God, my camera is missing. My laptop is missing. So, and I had a fight with my mom that day. And so I was like, it was just too much. I was like, I had to leave a week after that. So I left a week after that. And then my mom was like, I don't think we're going to go back to Australia just because for the safety reasons. If that happened, it was like a sign. So I never went back.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I was kind of like, and I went to the UK instead.
So what happened in the UK?
Nothing. I just went to school, got fat, was drinking too much.
Went to school, got fat, drinking too much.
Because it was my first year, like for real, living alone. Because then I had like my own apartment at the time. Well, my mom was paying for the apartment. And I was going to school, but UK is very big drinking culture. And I played tennis like a couple times there. And I played tennis with the dean of college. And he gave me a free quarter because I beat him and his wife. So he was like, if you beat me and my wife, I'll give you a free quarter. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. So I saved my mom like 7,000 or 8,000 pounds at the time. Yeah. So I got the free quarter. And then I was so depressed there. I was like, I hate this place. It's too small. It's just it's too depressing. It's too dark. It's just brick everywhere. So then my mom was like, you have to make a choice. Where are you going? And she said, I'll pay for your school, but you need to tell me what you want. And I said, I want to go to Monaco. She goes, oh, you want to meet a rich man and you just want
South of France?
Yeah.
Ooh.
She was like, you want to be a sugar baby. That's not happening. My mom was very strict with that. She's like, I want you to study. Like, I want you to get a good education. That's number one priority. I don't care about anything else. And then she was in the US and she goes, I'm going to connect you with the professor, talk to the professor, and then make a choice. And so I talked to the professors and they were like, the best choice for you is to go, there's a state school in Miami that was, I think it was like University of Miami, one of the schools that was accepting applications because it was June timeline at this point. And it was community colleges. And I was like, you know what, California is something everybody is like talking about. So let me just go to California. So I applied, got in. I had a week back home and because I got my visa, I had to pick up my passport and I had to leave. So I literally stayed home for like a week. And when I came here, literally like everything started. And that's like week one, I'm on a tennis team. And I was like, wait, what? Tennis? Like, how is this even? And then,
so you didn't actually gravitate towards tennis. They put you in tennis.
I went to take a PE class. I didn't gravitate towards nothing. That was the only thing I knew because I was like, what's the easiest thing? What's the PE class that I can take that's easy? And I didn't know that in America, you can take tennis as a PE class. I thought PE class is just the workout class, like everywhere else. Yeah. But it was a tennis class. So I'm like, let me just get an A and then, kind of like keep it moving. And so I didn't know that tennis was but tennis became such a big part of my life because my agreement with my mom was that if I don't like the States, I can go back to France and I can go and apply for school there and I can go to school there and then probably go back to Russia. So that was the dream. Like,
so you mentioned France, but France and Monaco is totally different.
Well, because you can't live in Monaco.
Is the spot. Yeah.
Monaco is where you go to school. There's a school there. Okay. And then, but you live in France because you can't actually rent in Monaco. There's like a whole law about that. But anyways, so I wanted to go. My dream was to go to South of France. That's where I wanted to be. I loved it. I went there for my 18th birthday with my mom, and it was like a trip that she gifted me because I was working so much. I was working with my mom too. My mom owns retail stores in Russia, so I was working for her. That's how I was able to travel. And so she took me there, and then I was like, well, damn, now I'm stuck in America because now I'm on the tennis team. I can't leave. And now not only I'm on the tennis team, then I get in a relationship, and then I buy my first car, and then I have an apartment, and then life just starts lifing, and I'm like, I can't. This is like life now is here. And tennis was like I was leaving and brave. Like everything was tennis. Honestly, just I came from having like one pair of shorts and a t-shirt and like old tennis shoes from 2009 and 2013 to like now I have a bunch of tennis shoes, because Nike was giving us the uniforms, and Nike was giving us shoes. So now we have uniforms, we have shoes, we have tennis rackets. I'm like, damn, this is great. I didn't even think it was possible. So yeah, tennis was my life. I mean, to this day, tennis is a big part of my life.
I know, and that's gonna segue me into my next question. How did playing tennis prepare you for entrepreneurship? Because I know you're building your brand, Courtside Les. You got your podcast. So how did tennis prepare you for all this?
So in tennis, you got to be crazy, right? I mean, it's probably like basketball. Like when you make a shot and you don't make it, you got to shoot until you make it, until it becomes a habit, right? So it's the same thing with tennis. So a lot of times in tennis, what I would do is I would not make a shot. I would freak out, but I'm going to be like, I'm not leaving until I make it, until I know, like until the feeling becomes so familiar to me that now I know what to do with my racket, like where to get my feet and all of that, like where I'm prepared for everything. So it's the same thing in life. You know, a lot of times life is going to slap you in the face and you need to know how to pivot or how to adjust to a certain scenario.
Right.
So especially with entrepreneurship, with the podcast, you know, I've been doing it for a year and like, yes, my episodes are not getting the views that I want, but I feel like I've moved so quick in the space that now I have people who have big names who are reaching out to me. I'm not reaching out to them. They're reaching out to me. Like God has looked out for me to the point where now I'm floating to the point where like, okay, now I'm moving towards that being my full on like brand and my business and their investors and their sponsors. And so it's like, I'm building the whole thing out of it, you know? But it was because of tennis, because tennis was something that I went viral with. And so I started posting my tennis videos and all of a sudden this thing is like hitting 19 million views. And I'm like, what the hell? So I'm like, oh, bet that's what you guys want. I've never even had like 100,000 views back then, you know? It's 2024. This thing is like going crazy. Now I start posting my tennis content and I'm back playing again because I stopped playing after I moved from California. And all this thing is like, everything is going like 100,000, 200,000 views. I'm like, this is insane. Like, what's going on?
Right.
And I met this girl who was trying to go back on tour and she was going through divorce and her husband wanted her to like, basically her husband left her with nothing but 2 kids and that's it. And she had no
That's
job.
tough.
No, it's horrible. It's like how, and her husband had money too. So there was no child support, no nothing. And shout out to Emma Burgage. She is a phenomenal tennis player. She's making her rounds in the WTA tour. She's now top 500 in the world, which is phenomenal. So I just met her and I was like, let's do an interview. Let's just have a conversation. Because I flew to Palm Beach to play with her. And I met her and I was like, you are such an amazing person. I want to tell your story. And so she had a podcast and we just went on YouTube Live and that's how I started a podcast. And now I'm like, oh, what if I just interview athletes? But then people don't care about athletes like that. People care about.
I disagree.
People care about watching athletes play in the sports, like in the action, but they don't really care about listening to what they got to say.
I disagree.
Why?
I think people love athletes. People want to hear what they got to say. People want to know like life after sports. Like I'm gonna ask you, like what was like? Why did you stop competing? Was it strategic or was you forced out?
I was tired. I was exhausted because
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
People and like the casuals, the people that just watching, they don't understand. It's a lot that goes into being an athlete.
Let me tell you the pressure of what it is because, you know, especially when you compete for a college, you know, as a number one, you have so much pressure on you because you're the one that's leading your team. And if you lose, then that's your fault because it could have been the match that was winning the whole, like, you know, the whole like round. And it's so much pressure because you have to be in school, you have to stay sane, and you also have to train. And then you also have to figure out how you're going to pay your rent and your bills and everything else. And you have to be a good player and not always you're mentally there, especially like back in the day. Now kids are so blessed because now they can be like kind of nurtured in the space where they at. If they're playing basketball or tennis, they can just be like kind of like nurtured in that space and they're bred to be good. And now they got the money, they got the NIL. It's amazing. And we were fighting for that. You know, back then we didn't have, my friend could not compete because he took a sponsorship 5 years ago from FILA. It was a $5,000 sponsorship to go to a tournament. He was not allowed to play D1 tennis in Berkeley.
Oh, wow.
It was
That's
20
crazy. It's
20
different now.
It's different now. But 2014, he could not play. So kids who have, if you have a chance to compete now, you are so blessed because that's what we were fighting for in college. We were writing essays, we were writing papers, we were writing to all these different committees and all these organizations. Allow us to take some sponsorships because it's hard, because not everybody has a scholarship. So, you know, it was so much. And also the reality of dealing with your coaches. Nobody talks about that because I had such a horrible coach. I had a toxic ass coach. Oh my God. My coach was the worst.
What makes a coach toxic?
My coach was not a good tennis player, right? So she could not play tennis for shit. She was very overweight. She was not good. I was under Dixie, who was a men's team coach. So I was practicing with a men's team, but she would make it difficult for me to go practice with men's because I had to go and attend the women's tennis practice, but they were not as intense, right? So like for me to get better, I need to play with better players, which are men.
Exactly.
And in her mind, she didn't want that to do because she felt like it was the ego thing. Now, like, oh, Coach Dixie's taking you instead of me. And her practices were so unstructured. And then, so this is what happened to me. When I was my second year in school, I had a very bad relationship with my coach. I was like, listen, I know I'm the best one on the team. Just let me help you. Let me help you coach the team because you don't know how to do this. You getting paid for this shit. I don't care. I just want my team to be good because I care about my team. And she was like, oh, you're overstepping. You're this, you're that. She just didn't like me because I'm a lot and I'm just a lot as a person in general. And somebody started writing me letters threatening me that I would never go D1, that I'm going to get expelled from the school, that my behavior is unacceptable. Like I literally had like threat letters coming into my mail couple like times a week from, I don't know who it was, but I guess like she told her friends or some shit. I don't know what it was, but it was so terrifying because I'm like 20 years old and you were sending me this letters telling me that I would never go to school. I would never make it in tennis. I would, this and that. And back then, like the dream was to go D1, that was the dream, but I just didn't know the logistics of everything. So I kind of like that dream had to go because the reality hits. I didn't want to move from the Bay. I wanted to stay in the Bay. So it was only two schools. So it was either Stanford or Santa Clara. Berkeley was never an option. I just didn't like that as a school. Stanford, I didn't do my SAT, so I couldn't go there. So it was Santa Clara. Santa Clara only had one scholarship for the entire team. So now I'm an international student. I have to pay a full tuition. I cannot afford to pay $50,000 for a school and play tennis at the same time because the commitment is too much. Like I couldn't do it. So, and I had to get a job at the time so I can afford my life. And I was like, well, it's just too much. Like life was lifing and I had to become an adult. I had to make decisions that were adult-like versus me chasing my dream. Cause it's like, you either going to cover your ass and have your bills paid or, you're going to chase the dream that you don't even know that what the dream is. Cause back then you play in D1, you're done after that. You're not going pro. You're not doing nothing after that. It's only one person right now on tour, Yannick Hoffman. That's the only person from that time who is still on tour who just made the second round to the Australian Open.
What made him different?
He was number one at USC.
Okay.
So he went D1 right away. I went JUCO. But he is a phenomenal tennis player. But again...
But you was an All-American in JUCO. So like when you go to the next level, what happens?
What happens is like... JUCO is looked down upon, right? Because like...
I went to JUCO.
I know, but it's looked down upon in the tennis world because now you're not as good. You're not a top elite recruit. You're not a top player. Tennis is a very like, it's kind of like anything. It's like entertainment world, it's very like pretentious. So if you don't have the numbers, nobody cares about you. And you can, make you can make some waves a couple times, but that's about it. Like if you're not consistently doing that, nobody cares. So it didn't matter. Like, I was looking at UC Santa Barbara, but then it was kind of like, do I move out of the Bay, out of the life that I've built to Santa Barbara and leave all of that behind? And then the coach was kind of like, he was like, well, you can be number 4 or 5. I'm like, I'm not going to fucking go to school and play 4 or 5. Like, that's just disrespectful. Like, I'm not doing it. Because I know what I can be. I know what kind of athlete I can be.
Right.
And it just kind of had to, because I was 19, I was 20, so I was going on 21 when I was going to a D1 school. And as a 21-year-old at that point, it's like, okay, well, you're not a child anymore. You gotta grow up. So you gotta do adult things. So that's what I had to do.
Nah, for sure. So let me ask you this. How did sports prepare you for entrepreneurship? Because I know you got a lot of stuff going on post your tennis career. Like you got your Talk Less show, you got other things that you're doing. How did tennis prepare you for entrepreneurship?
Well, I think you already asked me that question.
I already did.
Yeah, you did. But I'll tell you again. I think it's resilience. It's resilience. That's the best part about being an athlete, because you're so resilient. You know that nothing is going to break you. Like, even if you get injured, you're going to heal and you're going to go right back into it.
It's like, man, we got a callus. Like, we just keep going as athletes.
And it's like, there's nothing that can break me. Like, unless there's a bullet that's coming down, that's the only thing that can kill me. There's nothing else that can kill me, because no people, no perception, no comments, none of that is going to phase me, because I'm so accustomed to losses that wins are just like, oh, great, they're coming. Loss comes, okay, cool. I mean, what's new? New?
So as athletes, I always say we're not affected by wins or losses, because we always go through that.
It's normal.
Those ups and downs. So it's like, it's not like a loss is not the end of the world, and a win is not the end of the world.
No. And it's kind of like you get so used to, I think in tennis, you get too used to losing more than winning, because just by default, you lose a lot more than winning there,
You think so?
Yeah, it's the stats. It's not even me thinking. Because a lot of times, unless you're top in the world, top, but even then, they lose. They only make 56% of their points. 56% of their points. So 44% of your game is a loss. Like, you're losing 44%, which is almost half. So you got to be okay with losing. You got to be okay not making the shot. And you got to be okay going for next one, another one. And it's always like this crazy power of one more. But it also gets scary. So when my episode with Charleston White hit, right? Like, I'm looking at the numbers and I just can't believe it. Any other person would be like, damn, I made it. My thought was, how am I gonna up this?
Right.
Can I do this again?
Yeah.
Is this gonna happen to me again? I'm looking at the numbers. I'm like, this better stop right now, because I don't know if I can do this again. Because now I'm chasing this whole feeling of, can I do this again? And I think that's an athlete mentality. Any other person would have been like,
satisfied.
Yeah, you're never satisfied, because now it's like, well, shit, if I got this, then I can do more, and I can go
You drop
bigger.
30, you be like, man, I should have had 35. You drop 35, I should have had 40. Like, that's how but that's what makes us who we are, though.
Yeah, but it's also like, I can't say that we're not grateful. We're very grateful. I'm so grateful for every experience that I've had. But at the same time, it's just like, I have to catch myself and be like, hey, you're blessed. Just be grateful. Just stay in it. And also I feel like, how they talk about when we go to dating, it's like, you always want something that you can't have, but it's because that's just the reality of how we've lived life. You always want something.
Everybody person the issue.
Yeah, it's like we want more. Like, I can't. Yeah. I'm not okay. I'm not satisfied with what I got. I need more.
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, for sure.
More champagne. I need more champagne.
Let's pull you up. But nah, to your point, right? Like, you asked me off camera about my ring, and I led the nation in rebounding. I got 30 rebounds in the game.
How tall are you?
6'8".
Oh, damn.
I was undersized. They categorized me as undersized.
Of what? For who?
Power forwards is like 6'10", 6'11".
Where?
Centers is like 7 foot, 7'1".
See, so y'all need to stop telling me that I'm so unrealistic about the men who were like over 6 feet. There's so many of them. He was undersized, 6'8", undersized.
Yeah, but the tall dudes get picked up real quick.
You mean in life?
Yeah, in life.
Yeah. And what? They don't stay loyal.
We might be short. We might be undersized in sports, but like in life, like it's a commodity.
I can tell you one thing: tall girls get picked up in sports. Maybe not picked up like married, but like we get a lot of attention too. So
no, I agree. 6'2", Russian.
Yeah,
I can see that.
It's crazy. It goes crazy out here. And then apparently, I want to be in a relationship with.
What?
Like I told you off camera with the broke ones.
Oh, you talking about the broke ones. Man, well, I mean, you gotta, some people grow.
Where? To what? Mentally
to
or
not
physically?
to not be broke.
Oh, yeah, but I ain't got time for that.
Oh, so you need it already ready made.
Well, I'm 31.
Okay.
So
So you need them to already be coming correct.
Yeah.
Not a project.
No.
Build-A-Bear.
I have a project. I have Talk Less show as a project. I have Courtside Les as a project.
So you don't need no man as a project.
I ain't got no, I have no time. I was talking to my mom today about that. I was just like, Mom, I don't even think I want to be in a relationship because I don't think I have time for that, because it's like, it's a commitment that I can't commit to right now. Like, you know, I'm still training for tennis, and people think I'm crazy because I'm training for, you know, there's no tournaments or anything. I just want to get as good as I can get. Like, I want to see what level can I go up to. And like, you know, the other day I was hitting with a guy who was, Chris Eubanks' hitting coach. Mm-hmm. He was on ATP tour, and I'm like, damn, I can hit against him. So how high can I go? Like, can I hang against the pros? I train with pros, and it's something that, like, that's a dream that I wanted to fulfill. I want to be able to go out there and have, you know, a great hitting session or a great practice with people who are on tour, who are on that level. Because I just want to be like, oh, I can do it. Like, I'm good at it. Yeah.
So I think you're well aware of yourself, and I think, like, because for me being an athlete, I'm sensing your personality. Mm-hmm. Like for lack of better words, we goons, like we go getters.
Yeah.
And you know, we don't want people who are passive. It's like,
but people don't get it though. It's so crazy because
maybe you need to pair with another athlete.
But that's why, you know, like a lot of people are saying, why do you date athletes? But I'm like, because we have the same mentality.
Yeah, because a non-athlete and an athlete, man, if there's no compromise going on, they're gonna clash. Yeah, because we got two different sets of mentalities.
We just do, and
we never the victim.
No, hell no.
Anytime I've ever lost a game, I'm not thinking about what my teammates did. I'm thinking about what I did. Like even when I set the record for rebounds in a game, mm-hmm. I was sitting down. I was mad. I was like, man, I had 30 rebounds, and everybody was like, oh, congratulate me. The first thing that came to my mind was I should have had 40.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, I set out the last 3 minutes of the game. 3 rebounds bounced through my hands. Like, I'm always thinking, like, how can I get more? So our mentalities are trained to be different.
Oh,
we're trained to not make excuses.
Okay, this is why athletes have a lot of women, because they train themselves and they're like, how can we have more? How can we have more? How can we have more? See, I ain't lying because you just said it.
Hey. Look, the mentality is there and you can use it for good or evil.
But you still use it. I mean, but it's the same. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say like, oh, yeah. It's the same way for me, because it's like nothing is ever too good, because it's like, okay, I got this. That means that I can go here and I can go higher and I can go higher and I can go higher. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, you know, I think it's an interesting change to go from being like so-called a regular person who had, you know, I went from playing tennis, coaching at the most elite academies in California, and I'm a great coach. There's a lot of athletes that I was training with, and you know, I'm so glad to see them where they are now. It's like it's amazing. And then go into corporate world, and then, you know, because like when the corporate world, you kind of like, okay, now I'm living this American dream, you know, like I'm just blending with everybody. To now step it into this world of entertainment and like having access to people that you would never even think that you can come across. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I have to break that, you know, side of me where I am like, oh, I'm not good enough for them, or I'm not good enough to sit across from them, you know? So now I have to really like train my brain to say, hey, you deserve this. You worked for this, you know, you're meant for mm-hmm. this. So, and a lot of times when I have conversations with those people, I'm like, damn, they're just like us. They're really cool people. They have a very similar to like an athlete mentality, especially a lot of entertainers, comedians, actors, people who made it. They have a very like go-getter mentality, because they're always thinking about the future, about mm-hmm. the tomorrow. And a lot of people now, they don't think about the future. You know, they're very much stuck up on like, okay, there's today and that's it.
Right.
But those people, that's what separates them from many, is that they're like, okay, like this is how I'm going to do it. And they manifest. Everybody's manifesting. And I'm like, man. And I know I've manifested.
Forcing the issue, yeah.
You have to. Yeah. You have to manifest.
It's so much stuff working against you to not force the issue.
Literally. And it's just sometimes you're like, damn, God is really placing all of this on me. And I am very guilty of like having a lot of, I guess it's like self-hate. Because sometimes I'll be like, oh, like it's me, because I blame myself, you know, like you said, everything, like, you know, you didn't hit 40, now it's on you because you just did 30, you know?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with me. I'm like, damn, like I fucked up, or I did this, or it's my fault. It's me. And so I'm working with a therapist on like going through that, like, that's not always you, and you cannot have so much self-hate towards yourself. You have to really like give yourself love and give yourself some gratitude for things that are happening.
Sometimes you got to pat yourself on the back.
You have to.
Because if you can't depend on nobody else to do that.
Yeah, and then sometimes it's like, I think believing in yourself, even as an athlete, that's like the biggest thing, because when you're on that tennis court or a basketball court or whatever, you need to know that you deserve it, and you actually can do it.
And not have imposter syndrome.
No. And oh, I hate that shit, man. That's like, it drives me crazy. The whole like this whole imposter syndrome of people who are, especially women who are, and again, I don't want to get into relationships and dating, but especially women, when they ain't got shit going on for themselves, but they want a person who has this, they only want to sit courtside, they only want to have designer bags, and it's like, go get a job, girl.
Yeah.
What's up?
They in the fantasy world.
And I'm like, it's so crazy because I've never had a man buy me a designer bag. I've never had a man pay my bills. I've never had those things because I'm like, I never
had a man pay my bills either.
Really? Damn. Wait, the basketball team owner is a
woman.
Oh. Did you have a woman pay your bills?
Yeah.
Really? Where's she at? Let me
I need to go find her again.
She paid your bills?
No, I'm joking. No, nobody ever done that for me.
Yeah, no, I'm like, man, I'm doing something wrong. But that's, again, it's the athlete thing in me. Yeah. My pride is so much bigger than that I'm like, I'll figure it out. And then I sit here, I'm like, I'm tired of being on my own and figuring it out, but I'll figure it out. Because if I have to deal with somebody, I ain't got time for this. By the time they figure it out, it's like, how did you figure it out?
Yeah, but I think that's the part of being like strong-minded. I don't want to say alpha because you're a female, but like
I am though.
But I know that's what I'm saying. As athletes, we don't wait for nothing.
No,
we're trained at a young age to go get it. Make no excuses.
Yep.
Like if we're on the road, we supposed to win anyway. We got to beat the team and the refs and the fans. You know what I'm saying? So we're trained at a young age, like to back against the wall to figure it out.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it's like, it pisses me off when people can't figure it out. It's like, why can't you? And I'm the person, you know, I always laugh about that. So, you know, because like I didn't grow up here. I'm not from the US, you know, I moved, especially to Atlanta. I moved 3 years ago. And when I have some people calling me and like, hey, like, do you know this and this? And I'm like, yeah, let me just connect you with that person. And then I sit back and think, and I'm like, how you been born in this country, raised in this country,
and they calling you,
and you calling me, and I've only been in the city for 3 years, and how the hell do I know those people? And you know,
6'2" Russian, man, you gonna get some people gravitating towards you though.
But it's not even that. It's like, how do I know how to solve this, and you don't? Especially when people who got money, who got status, who are, you know, who they got status, they got clout.
I don't think those are linear though. Some people get money because they just got the gift of gab to get money. Some people, you know, I don't think it's all connected.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not.
Some people know how to make
not.
money, but they don't know how to network. Some people know how to network, they don't know how to get money.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like I'm a networker 101. Like I will network. I will meet so many people. I'm just like, you know, like we met in yoga. I'll talk to everybody and anybody.
Right.
But I don't mean to, like, I'm not flirting or anything. I'm just like, I'm gonna just talk to people. I just talk to people. That's what I do for literally.
She was not flirting in yoga. I confess.
I was tired too.
Yeah, we all trying to make it. In yoga, ain't nothing going on in yoga, but everybody trying to survive.
Literally.
Like, yeah, and then after everybody survived, we're congratulating everybody for surviving.
Yeah, and then you're sitting there like, damn, okay, let me catch my breath.
Yeah.
Okay, this is, okay, we made it. We did it.
Shout out to ISO Yoga.
It was great. I love doing hot yoga. And see, that's the thing about me too, with being an athlete. I love working out. People don't understand that. They're like, why do you want to, you know, I used to get up at 5 a.m, play tennis at 6. or like go work out at the gym at 6. And I still do that sometimes. Like I'll still sometimes go play at 6. They don't get it. And I'm like, because it's discipline. If I don't work out, like I don't feel good. You know, I need to work out at least 3-4 times a week. If I don't do that, I don't know how y'all are living life without working out. I truly don't understand that.
Did you work out today?
I didn't work out today, but I did walk.
Go in the gym. Before you leave, you got to go in the gym.
I told you this.
We holding you accountable.
But I have my personal trainer tomorrow. Yeah, I'm very much like, I have to force myself to take days off. And today was just like by force of nature, I had to take a day off because all this shit was just, the hell was breaking loose today.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's okay. There are days like that I'm like, I just pray I can make it and I can come on here and I can look decent, not fat and chubby like everybody's. See, people tell me that I need to get a personal trainer and I'm too fat. And I'm like, I know y'all. I'm fat.
What you mean you fat? I don't think you fat.
I'm fat. I think I just need to, I started doing peptides.
I've been hearing about them, but I never looked into them. What's peptides?
Shout out to
because I'm on the keto diet. The keto diet is the GOAT. I lost 15 pounds in 20 days.
Nice. So, I've been friends with Gentle Giant Care, Quan James. He's a good friend of mine. He kept telling me about the peptides. He's like, get on peptides if you want to, because I just want to like slim down and I want to lean out. And my problem is that I don't eat. I don't like to eat food. I'm very bad at eating.
What do you eat?
I eat like once a day. So like today I literally had
that's intermittent fasting, but what do you eat when you eat?
So I don't eat meat. I eat like only fish and seafood.
Pescatarian.
And pescatarian.
Yeah. They got a name for it.
I know everything is labeled in America. But no, like today, like I had eggs, salmon, sweet potato, like literally one piece of sweet potato and like arugula and tomatoes. That's all I ate today. I'm very bad at like forcing myself to eat. So my body just like gets very like jiggly and loose because I don't eat enough for my size. Like I eat way less than a regular person. So I'm just trying to see if I can like, lose some fat and like the recovery part of it. My body gets so sore now because I work out so much. So I wanted to find something that can help me with recovery, because anything like magnesium, taking all this, vitamins, don't help.
So peptides help with recovery.
It helps with different things. There's different peptides for different things. So I started doing peptides. I got back in the gym. I have a personal trainer 3 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week. So I try to go 3, sometimes 4. Last week going 4, and play tennis a couple times a week. So I like try to stay very active because my mental too. Whew.
Right. And like that goes back to the athlete mentality. We always know, like, because I know, like, I got up to 305 pounds and I was like, oh, I need to chill out. Like, I got on the keto diet. I lost 15 pounds.
He was trying to be a linebacker.
Yeah, like, like, oh man, like I did a video on YouTube and somebody had commented like, hey, I've been following you for years, but you're breathing off. You want to check on your health. I was like, oh shit. I'm going on the keto diet, but like I done lost 15 pounds in 20 days. So like I think we know as athletes, like we know
when we get big, yeah. Because it's like the clothes fit different. I naturally like to wear oversized stuff, so I always want to be comfortable. Obviously, like when I go out, I would wear something tight, or when I play tennis, I always wear tight clothes, and people hate how
6'2" Russian
and I got
tight
curves too, so it's like they hate that because I'm supposed to be Victoria's Secret model look, the 90s model kind of like cocaine chic look, but I don't know, I just think I'm fat. Again, self-hate. It's not self-hate, but it's like I've always thought, because I grew up in Russia. In Russia, the standard of beauty is like you got to be like 120 pounds. Like you kind of need to be borderline. You
shouldn't buy into that though.
No, I know, but still, it's like there's just certain things that I'm like, I don't like that on my body. I want to be slimmer. I want to be, I want to wear a dress that's gonna be tight, and I want to be like a freaking like the hourglass. Right now, I'm a little. I don't know what that is, but and I know men love jiggle. Men love like something they can grab on, but
they do. I wouldn't know.
Oh, really? You wouldn't know? No, they do. For some reason, they do. I don't know what it is.
So let me ask you this, Les. What would you tell the athlete? Because I know you was a JUCO All-American. what would you tell an athlete that didn't make it pro? Like, to how would they pivot? Because I know you built a personal brand. You were a successful entrepreneur. What would you tell other young athletes that don't make it pro how to pivot?
Oh, they don't make pro?
Yeah.
I think
Because everybody can't make it pro.
Hell no.
You could be good enough. Man, it's so much stuff that goes into this. Like, you could be good enough. You just might not fit a certain system, or you got drafted in the wrong year or whatever.
I think there's a right person but wrong time, right? I think it's a right statement to make, especially with athletes. You can be passionate about a certain sport, but it's okay for you not to go pro. You can still do that on a recreational level, and you can do it well. Because, any sport that you play, there is so many, basketball, for example, there's so many different leagues that are not professional, that are just in Atlanta, for example. I know that there's Lifetime League, there's Marietta, Alpharetta, there's all these little leagues where you can play basketball games. So you can still use your talents there because now you know how to play the sport. That's the most important part. Tennis, there's Alta, there's so many different levels of Alta where you can play tennis. Golf, you can go golf, and you can literally apply it to anything and everything. It doesn't have to be pro, but you can apply the resilience and that like go-to mentality into your work. A lot of athletes go into sales, and I recommend that because sales is a go-getter mentality, and you are the one that built your business. If you don't do the work, you're not going to see the results. But sales is probably the quickest way to make money, and they love to hire athletes. So especially if you're a younger athlete, definitely try to look into sales, try to look into something, find something that you're passionate about, you care for, and go into that. And it's okay if it does, if it has nothing to do with sports, but you can still do it on a recreational level. Nobody tells you cannot. People tell me I'm crazy for playing tennis to this day and having a coach and doing and I'm like, who the fuck are you paying my bills? Who are you to tell me that I'm crazy to do that? I love to do that. I make money with that. I build my personal brand with it. But also to athletes who go in pro, that's one thing that I'm so passionate about. Build your personal brand, because you don't know how long you're going to last. Your body can only do so much.
Right.
Build your brand.
That brand will be forever.
Their brand is going to be there forever. There's a reason why Michael Jordan is to this level that he is now. There's a reason LeBron is a billionaire. There's a reason Steph Curry is making the money he's making. Because they're building personal brands and they're going beyond the sports. And so I think it's so important to start doing that, and a lot of athletes tend to go into foundations and all of that. Create a brand out of it. You have the time, especially when you're in the league, go and do that. That's the most important part. Start your content creation journey, because content is king right now.
We're in a whole different world right now. I was forced, of course, I have a podcast, but it was years and years of this being beaten into my head that this is the new wave. So that's, I had to start a podcast.
And a lot of athletes, they're gonna do this, this cool thing of, they have 3 posts on Instagram or 3 posts on TikTok.
Trying to keep it clean and cute.
No, nobody gives a shit, because if you want to make the money, you want to start posting, you want to share your journey, because that's why all this girlfriends of NFL players and NBA players, they're going viral, because they're sharing their life, they're sharing their journey, and people relate to that because they want to see what's inside, they want to see how it's like. And so if you don't share that, then it's going to be hard to build a brand. So I had to jump into that journey of yes, my life is exposed to the T now. And I think I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. I made mistakes of sometimes, when I would date certain people, I would go and blast them on my podcast. And I feel bad. I feel really bad. And
so you don't do that no more?
I don't do that anymore. I can share certain experiences, but I never name no names. Never.
No names.
Hell no. I would never name no names, because I don't want that. I just shared experiences, but I'm sure the people who I've shared about, they have caught that and they've seen that. And I think it was a little bit ruthless. And it wasn't until I talked to Mandy, who was on my podcast, and she was like, I dogged the shit out of those people. And then the next day, the next week, I'm back to talking to them again. I'm fine. But it's kind of you think you need to do that. And now I'm like, nah, keep it to yourself, because share their experience, but don't make it very negative, because I thought maybe that's what's going to get me going. And now I'm like, nah, that's not it.
Man, I think athletes, man, we got some secret superpower between each other. Our mindsets are just interconnected. How did competition shape your mindset? to be an entrepreneur and go out in the world? Because we think differently.
Okay, so I think for me, I'll tell you one thing. Tennis gave me the biggest anxiety. The reason why I have anxiety to this day is because of tennis. Because you're so scared. Because like before you compete, there's pressure. You gotta win.
Yeah.
The outcome, the only outcome is
And
to
it's
win.
one-on-one.
There's
no
nothing. There's
excuses.
nothing else. There's only winning. Like you're doing this so you can win. But you go into it scared. You go into it scared, but you still do it. And so I think that's the most important part. That like go into it scared, go into it with fear, but go step into that fear because that's when you grow.
Mm-hmm.
You might learn things along the way. And a lot of times start over. Shit, I've started over so many times that now I'm like, there's nothing that I haven't done in 31 years of my life that is gonna, make me feel like, oh, I can't do this. No, I can do all of it. My biggest fear was to move. I moved to Atlanta. And my life turned 180.
You moved to Atlanta from where?
From the Bay, from the California Bay Area.
Okay.
San Jose.
Sac?
San Jose.
Okay.
Sac? Hell no, Sac. We Warriors fans over here, okay? Let's go Warriors. Golden State, okay? 49ers, bang bang the Niner gang, okay? We're still on that type of time. San Jose Sharks, that's where I'm at, okay?
Those riding the whip.
Yeah, that's where. Yep, that's where I'm at. Yeah. I'm not, I'm now kind of Hawks are growing on me. Don't say nothing. They're growing on me. I like going to the games. I love going to the games.
I love going to the games too, but I wish, they would win more. We've been middle of the road for a minute,
I have a confession to make. I don't understand shit about basketball, but I love going to the games.
Yeah.
Same as NFL games. I went to the Falcons games. It was pivotal for me because I met my sponsor for the Charleston White episode there, who I ended up working with for multiple episodes. And I don't know anything about NFL. I don't know anything about football, but I had so much fun. And I'm learning. I love going to the games. To me, sporting events, they just give me life. It's so much more fun to go to sporting events.
I like live, yeah, because I won't watch baseball on TV, but I'll go to a baseball game in a minute.
And you'll have the blast there.
And just to be in the mix, I have a blast. Yeah. But
it's fun. Yeah. I love it so much. And I think that's what Atlanta did for me, that it really put me in a whole different mindset of how things can be different. I could never imagine myself getting out of corporate and going more into entertainment space and doing the podcast, because I've always loved to talk. And my mom would always say, you're too tall to be on camera. You can't be an actress. But the camera back then, it was you can only act. That's it. And so now I'm like, well, what's up now? I can be on camera. I can tilt it up and,
Yeah, tilt it up. Hey, Zell, tilt it up, Zell. Hey, so look, what's one thing that tennis taught you that nothing else could? That you still use to this day?
I think tennis taught me the pain. I think it's this pain of, when you miss the ball and you know that you can make it. And I think the pain, this is something that I've learned about me. I am so okay with that pain because it's literally it hurts my soul sometimes when I miss certain shots. But then I go back and I'm like, okay, let me do it again. Let me do it again. Let me do it again. And then I make it. And then I'm like, okay, I have kind of figured out the process of how I'm going to make it. A lot of times I'm going to miss the mark in anything in life. I'm going to miss the mark. Mm-hmm. I'm going to feel the pain. I'm going to freak out. But then I'm going to rise. So it's it just really learned that, it really taught me that feeling that it's okay. Whenever you feel that pain, that's when you know you're actually going to grow and you're going to go up and you're going to go further and higher. Because a lot of times, even on my Instagram, you can go and see, I have those moments when I freak out and I'm very expressive. I'm going to post it on Instagram. I'm going to say this thing got me fucked up. Where are all the views? What's happening? I don't get it. It's pissing me off.
But they suppressing the views. It's not you.
I mean,
that's the business model.
Do you think I care? To me, it's me. To me, I'm doing something wrong. I understand it's a machine running behind it, but then there is a certain thing that's going to go viral, or a certain episode that I'm post and it would go viral, and it's all of a sudden I'm growing and I'm, there's people that are having eyes on me and I'm getting DMs from people that I'm like, how would you even find me? Sometimes I literally ask those people, where did you find me? And they're like, oh, explore page or this, or somebody send me a reel of you. And I'm like, in what world would I even imagine this happening?
Right.
But I've manifested every person in my life, though. Like, I'm not even joking. It's so crazy. There was one person who I saw back in the day. It was like 2014. I remember I went to the Warriors game back then, and I saw one person on the court, and I was like, ooh, this guy. I don't know why he caught my attention. I met that person 10 years later. Met him. Became like good friends with him. And another person I saw in the music video, I was like, ooh, him. Boom, met him. Like, or even like women too. It's just so crazy how my mind is so powerful that like without even knowing it, they just all like came into my life somehow. And you know, again, like I sit back and I think I'm just a girl from Russia. Like I'm from Siberia, you know, nobody even believed that I could do anything or be anything. And all of a sudden I'm here and like I have access to all this people, or like, you know, people are inviting me on their shows. People want to know what I'm saying. People want to hear me.
Courtside Les, of course. We want to hear what Courtside Les got to say.
But like 3 years ago, that wasn't a thing. You know, 3 years ago, nobody cared for what I had to say. 3 years ago, I wasn't this person. Like I was not, you know, I thought like it's so goofy to post on social media. I thought it was so goofy. And people were telling me, oh, we know where you are because you post on your stories all the time. And now people are like, oh, we love your story time. Like, your stories are great.
You know, first they hate you, then they love you. That's how it go.
I don't mind the hate, though. Do you like the hate?
I ain't got too much hate yet, but I can't hear the cheering or the booing.
I love the hate because I feel like people need, if they're haters, they become obsessive because they hate you so much that they care to see what you're up to and what you're doing. It's like this person that you like a nemesis. You're like, ooh, let me see.
Yeah, and I think the hate only come online. I'm out here moving and grooving every day. Like, ain't nobody ever came up to me with no smoke. So it's all thumb, you know, it's all tweeting and all that shit. Like, that ain't real.
No, it's not real, but I'm saying like.
Because in real life, it's all respect.
Yeah, in real life, I'm like, but I like it because if they're hating, they're going to be my people that are going to come after them. And so that's what's going to get the engagement up.
The barbs.
I love it.
Like she got the barbs.
I love it.
What's your group called? The Lesses?
I don't know.
The Courtsides?
I just always say, hey guys. So I don't know. They're my people. And they will like literally. There's one person. There's this one clip that's going crazy right now. There's like thousands of comments, and one person. I keep seeing this person keep like going after all these people, and I'm like, okay, bro, like you got it, like stop.
Right.
But he keeps going and protecting me, and like you know, telling everybody that like they're not.
People gonna be in the comments protecting you.
They love me, and I'm like, this is crazy. I never even thought that could be a thing.
But I think that's just compound interest, though, of you dripping value, and then you getting you creating your tribe.
Yeah, and you know, for me, so my big goal with tennis and with like what I'm doing, I get it, like, you know, everybody wants to make money, but I just want to bring so much value, and I want to make sure that the sport is alive. I'm so worried for the lifespan of the sport, and I'm so annoyed with how expensive it is. And I'm so frustrated with how unachievable and unattainable it is. When you see kids who are so talented and they can't afford to buy tennis rackets, it boils my blood. Because, and that's where I say, build your personal brand. You know, every time obviously I'm not going to put that on camera because it's just something that's behind the scenes, but I always make sure if I come across a child who is, you know, maybe like 19 years old and he's really good, I'm like, okay, I'm working with a sponsor. I'm going to connect you with them, but I need you to make sure you're posting and you're promoting their brand because they can't just give you stuff for free. That's going to be insanity. We can't run business like that. So I need you to start doing, so I'm always trying to put them on game and teach them something, but it's so sad to see that, like, you know, obviously the inflation is crazy. So the prices of rackets are going to go up. The prices of tennis shoes are like now up to $200. The shoes, you wear them out in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. If you're a good player, 2 weeks, they're done. So $200 twice a month, that's $400, just $400 just for shoes alone.
Right.
Kids don't have that kind of money. Parents don't have that kind of money. So it's like the insanity of the prices of it. So my whole goal is like, how can we decrease the cost of it and how we can make the sport more accessible? Because the reality of it is there's so many tennis courts. In every single neighborhood, in every community, there is a tennis court. We didn't have that. I didn't grow up with that. But now what I have the talent, I have, you know, the reach, I have the fan base, and I'm just trying to see how we can flip that narrative and make sure that we can keep the sport alive. And that's why I started the podcast. And that's why I was like, let me get it going with all these content creators and all these big people who have, millions of followers and views and everything. And I want to get the name. And then from there, I want to pivot it to like, okay, now let's teach the game of the sport. And so it's hard because, I have to stay sane and I have to stay focused, not get swayed by the numbers. Because numbers are like they're pissing me off.
I mean, you can't get too deep in the numbers, man. I think you just got to keep going because compound interest and like the more you keep going, it's going to be cumulative. People going to start, latching on and understanding what your brand is and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think we're in an instant society, but like it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. I mean, I think it's already here. It's not even going to happen. It's already here. And I have the sponsor that I work with. He is a phenomenal, shout out to Premier Racket Sports. Corey, the owner, he's phenomenal. He was the one that proposed the whole sponsorship between me and him. It's a partnership at this point. And, he's making huge strides in Atlanta. He's making huge waves. And I'm so blessed to be able to put him on the map to the point where now people are literally going to him and he's so busy to the point sometimes I'm like, hey, can I bring my rackets? Well, I ain't got time to restring them. And I'm like, Corey, please, I need my rackets tomorrow. I'm like, I'm blessed and I'm so grateful for the fact that you are now so busy. But it's like, it took so much trust to build that relationship that now I'm like, anything that I do with tennis, he's always involved. He's always involved and it's beautiful that that's the thing. But then again, like working with bigger brands, now they look at me like, oh, you got 60,000 followers. We don't care about you. We want somebody who has 2 million followers. But little do they know that my name in the community is big. Like, you go into tennis world, like I'm known in tennis world.
Paper stats. Yeah.
It's a whole, if we're doing an event, if my name is on the event, then we get people out there, we get like 30 to 60 people out for 4 tennis courts. So it's like the impact is there. It's just now, how do we convert it into a much bigger impact and how do we convert it into something that's also going to generate some sort of funds so we can help all those kids and all those people who are trying to, to make their dream come true.
Right. And like I said, it's all about trying to help others, right? Like you was a junior college All-American. I'm pretty sure you had aspirations of going pro, correct?
Of course.
Yeah. So what would you tell, like, what's your biggest regret and what would you change? What would you tell a young athlete right now so they can make it to pro?
I think it's the number one thing is don't doubt yourself. Believe in yourself because that's the biggest thing. I promise you, every person might say that they're so confident in this and that. Everybody's doubting themselves. They are.
Imposter syndrome.
But it's the reality of everything, because you see this, because what we compare ourselves to, we don't compare ourselves to somebody who is, tennis world. We don't compare us to somebody who is number 500. We compare ourselves to top 10 in the world. And we're like, well, we can't get there. But they didn't get there in one day. The Rome was not built in one day. They got there in years and years of hard work and dedication. And there's steps that they had to take. And so sometimes you look at it and you know that the road is going to be so long, but you have to go on that journey. Like instant gratification is not it. Like it's not going to do nothing to you. But the long journey and the work and dedication, that's what's going to get you there. So, it's like I listened to Pastor Darius Daniels a lot. And he literally had like a whole speech about that. And I'm like, that is so true that even in life, we always try to go the short route, the instant gratification route, whatever that is, relationships, business, life in general. We always try to go the short route, but the long route is the one that's rewarding. And the long route where you stay obedient and you stay like,
that's where you learn the lessons too.
You do learn the lessons. Yeah.
Ain't no if you skip if you shortcut it, you won't learn the lessons along the way. So even if you get to the pinnacle, you won't know how to respect it.
And even if you don't make it the first one, if you come last, you still made it. You still went through the journey. It's like, I remember when we were kids, our swim coach would make us run around the park, right? It'd be like, I think it's like a 5K or maybe like 10K or something of a kind. And there would be the top athletes who would know how to cut corners. And so they would like run half of the route, but we would still run we were younger. We couldn't do it. Like we got to respect the elders. We would always run the long route and they would cut the corners. And then when they would swim, you could see that their time is going down because their endurance is not on the point. But they looking like they're made it first, because their time is shorter, but they cut the corner, they cheated. And that didn't get them anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, like, man, like that. I always been opposed to that quick hitter, cutting corners. Like, I don't see how it help you in the long run.
But even with like a lot of people when they go into social media journey, right? They want to go viral. That shouldn't go to that going
That's
viral.
how they go. That's like instead of building, they just trying to see how to get there quick.
I just had to redo my whole YouTube thing, right? Like I'm starting my whole journey from the beginning, like from zero, from
You leaving
scratch.
30,000 followers.
I'm leaving my 30,000 subscribers.
Let me buy your page.
You can buy my pages. It ain't doing shit. So and it's monetized, so it's not doing shit. You're not gonna make that much. But I'm leaving that. I'm starting over again. And when I had the consultation about the YouTube, one thing he said, this person that I was consulting with, he said the first 10 subscribers are the most important 10 subscribers you can possibly have, because they're the ones that are going to be with you through thick and thin. And they're going to be the ones that are going to watch anything and everything. Your first 10 subscribers are the most important ones, because the reality of it is that you can have 30,000 subscribers, but only 10 of them are watching. Or you can have 10 subscribers and it's 100,000 watching, you know?
So what's the difference?
Well, the difference is you get paid from 100,000. You don't get paid from, 10
just
people
having
watching.
the subscribers.
You don't get paid from having all that number, because when you go viral, it's this like instant thing that, okay, you gain all these followers, but
and they may not even be into what you're into.
No, because yes, you need
They
to know how to
just there
sustain.
for the moment.
Yeah, you need to know how to sustain that thing. It's the long run that matters. I never had to go and buy the followers, because it's like, what am I doing that for? I can buy the followers. Yes, in the moment, I'm going to get the views, but then down the road, it's all going to die down because they're not real. So what is the point?
Right.
I would much rather have 100 people that are watching, but they care about what I got to say and they hear the impact that I got to make, versus, 100,000 that they're just stopping by. They don't really care about what you got going on. They don't care about none of it. They might see you, especially like with me, they see like, oh, this blonde girl who's 6'2", she's Russian. Oh, let's check her out. You don't give a shit about me or about what I got going on or about where I'm going or what I want from life. You just care about this instant gratification of a picture. Oh, she looks good. Let me see. And to some I look good, to some I don't. And I'm not a dollar bill to be liked by everybody, and I don't care about that. But like, majority of people, the first thing they see is like, oh, okay, that's attention grabber. And then when I start talking, they're like, oh, hell no, because she talks. And I talk a lot. So it's like, it's now I don't want to go that route. I want to go the route where people are actually going to listen to me and people are going to hear me out. So
speaking of hear you out, what would you tell my audience? Like, it's like, what would you tell my audience to, like, these young athletes? I know you didn't go pro, but you was a junior college All-American, so you had some aspirations and you was on your way, but at some point you pivoted. So what would you tell these athletes? Like, at some point everybody's gonna have to pivot. Nobody plays forever. What would you tell them, like, along the journey, like, to get to the pinnacle of what they want out the game?
I think it's the power of detachment. You have to be able to detach yourself from that dream that you had. And if it's not working, pivoting is okay. And you have to detach yourself from that, because a lot of times we're going to sit there and we're going to dwell like, why is this not working? Why is this not working? But sometimes God is it's not a rejection, it's a redirection. So God is going to redirect us to a different part of life, a wave of life, whatever that is. Sports is brutal. People don't understand how brutal it is to be in the sports world. It's not always this, even if you make that 100 million, you still need to know how to sustain that 100 million. There's still pressure of, can I do it again? Because now I made 100 million. Now, can I, I want to have the same lifestyle, but I don't have any business. I'm not doing nothing. I'm just blowing all this money. And, people got mad at OBJ for saying 100 million is nothing, but it is nothing in his case, because his lifestyle is expensive.
100 million is 50 million after taxes. And then, like, depending on the lifestyle.
You want to drive Rolls Royces.
Yeah.
You want to go shopping. You want to drive, you want to fly private. You want to do all those things. Can you sustain that if you're not continuing with the same level of income that you're having? So now you have to pivot. Okay, how do I make investments? Now you have to find the right people who can help you with banking. Now you have to figure out, okay, if there is a business, what business do I invest in? What's the right decision to make? So it's a lot of things that you have to do. It's not just like you get 100 million, now you're thriving. No. That's not how it works. I know it sounds great, because when people don't have something, they think it's amazing to have it. Like, people don't have 30,000 subscribers, they think it's amazing to have it until you have it. And now you're like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
I got to detach myself from that because it's a great idea. It sounds really good. But when you actually start going down to nitty gritty of it, the foundation is missing.
Yeah.
So now I have to go back and rebuild the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to start from zero and I have to detach myself from the idea that, oh, I have. But if I was able to do it once, I can do it again and I can do it again and I can do it again. And if I have to start in a whole new channel, I'm going to do it again.
Hey, you tough for that. Because, like, when you first told me that, I was like, you going to leave $30,000 on the table.
But again, do it scared. Do it when I feel like you have to do it scared. You have to go into your fears. Because again, it's like when you go to the gym, you break your muscle, but the muscle repairs when you rest. Mm-hmm. So it's the same concept here. Go break it. Go break the cycle and start again and again and again. And I've been on my own since I was 14. So like I haven't lived with my family. So at this point, it's like I'm ruthless with it. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people are gonna get mad at me for cutting them off or for me like leaving jobs. But if it doesn't serve me, there's no point for me to stay there because if it's broken, I cannot fix it. As much as I have love and respect for that, but I can't fix it. I just cannot do it. But what I can do, I can start over. And that's the scariest thing to do, but I'm going to go into it, Mm-hmm. And it's just because now there's pressure from the society to do so. People always tell me you need to be married, you need to have kids, you need to do this and this. And it's like, fuck y'all's opinion. I'm going to do what I need to do. Right now I'm building my career. I'm building I'm building my brand. I'm building my, everything that I'm doing. And it's sometimes I get so mad at myself that like, oh, why didn't I do it sooner? Why I can't do it all? But it's like, I'm only one human and I can only do so much. We want more, mm-hmm. But at the same time, like I gotta be realistic and I gotta be like, okay, but also it's like this fear of like, okay, I have so much to do. And I just started writing all out on the paper. I got a notebook. When I was doing the consultation with the YouTube guy, he was like, write it out. And when I started writing it out, I'm like, fuck, I'm terrified. I'm scared. I'm scared to do it because, I ain't got nothing to fall back on. I ain't got no mom and dad to call to, hey mom, send me my money. And then I ain't got that.
I think that make you more dangerous though.
What? Oh yeah, because
not having a fallback system.
Nothing to fall on to. So it's just me and I have to figure it out. So whatever that is going to be, I got to figure it out whichever way. And I think that's also hard because a lot of times, like people who have not been through what I've been through, they're not going to understand because to them, it's like, this is like a foreign concept, but it is what it is. So I think the power of detachment is huge. It's huge.
Nah, for sure. I love the way you think, man. And I'm glad you dropped those gems on my audience. Like we think differently and you've been through a lot, you know what I'm saying? Being on your own and coming over here and moving to Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta. I didn't know anybody either.
But again, you see, like I always say, don't judge the book by its cover, right? And I do the same sometimes to people, but when people see me, they think that there is somebody who's behind me.
You judging books by their cover?
I do. Sometimes, yeah, I do. Like, there's one person who I remember when I looked at his Instagram, I was like, he ain't no fucking way. I'm not talking to you. You got bitches on bitches on bitches. I ain't doing this. I was like, you are here and I'm here and no. And then when I started having conversations with that person, I was like, oh my God, he's actually really down to earth. He's really humble, super cool. Like we connected, right? Also an athlete. So like we connected so quick that I'm like.
Athletes connect so quick.
We just connect. Like it was so crazy that we were just sitting down and like all of a sudden this like 15-minute conversation turned into like 3-hour conversation. And then we're just talking and I'm like, wow, you got a story. I've got a story. And now we're coming together because like we're sharing our stories. And so when people look at me, they think, oh, she's pretty. She got money. She got somebody behind her. Somebody's investing money into her. She's this, she's that. They don't understand that I work 24/7. I ain't got time off. I ain't got days off. I don't have time to be off because when you go on your own, it's just you. Like every minute, every hour matters. At this point, like I don't have time to go out and get drunk and have fun. Even though sometimes I would love to do that, but I don't. Because tomorrow I can't.
Yes, I mean, as business owners and entrepreneurs, man, we work all the time. It's no, like from the time we wake up, we go to sleep dreaming about what we need to do.
And sometimes I wake up anxious in the middle of the night and I'm like, oh, I got to do all of this and that. Yeah. And it's like my brain is going 3,000 miles an hour. And I'm like, okay, well, let's get up and let's start doing all those things. Cause you need to edit the content and I edit everything myself. So like I have to edit, I have to post, I have to plan. Now I have to figure out, like I need to reach out to people, then I need to respond to people. Then, there's emails that are coming through. There's like sponsors that I'm trying to like get, and it's a lot, And so it's like when you just sit down, you're like, God damn. But then again, I'm like, I'm nowhere where I want to be right now. So it's like, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, but
yeah.
I think it's very important not to judge a book by its cover.
No, for sure.
And actually get to know people and like get to know them on a different level that, because you see something, but you don't know what's behind that.
Yeah.
And sometimes you will see a very pretty picture and you're like, yeah, ain't shit going on there. Just pretty.
Yeah. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors out here. But you done gave my audience a lot of game. Like, before we get out of here, lead them with something that they can use later on in life.
Oh my God. In the middle of the word impossible, I am possible. So, I think it's very impossible. It's very, very possible. Everything is possible. So it's important to make sure you speak the words that you want to happen. I don't say, like Stevie Baggs, he was somebody who taught me that. He said, don't say I'm going to, say I am.
Partner them. Shout out to Stevie Baggs.
I am, if you want to get wealthy, say, I am wealth. I know wealth. I live wealth.
Mm-hmm.
I know love. I am love. I live love. So you always want to make sure that your words and the words that you speak, they are in the present tense and you know what you're talking about. So really change the power of your tongue. The power of the tongue is so powerful. And so manifest things, dream about things. And when people say that you can't do it, fuck them. You can. It's literally all in here, and whatever you want to do, you can do it. But also, if you like to do things and if you're a doer, it's okay to be a doer. Not everybody's going to be a boss and an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. It's not how it works. We need all people.
Yeah, we need all parts of the spectrum for sure.
Everybody. So it's okay. If you like to be an assistant of somebody and if you like to help people out, go do that. Go be that. It's completely fine. And if you didn't make it into Pro Circuit, and if you think that you're less than, no, you're not less than. If people look down on you because you were in the G League, you didn't make it to the NBA, fuck them. They didn't make it nowhere. You made it to the G League.
You never look down on yourself.
You never look down on yourself. You made it that far, and it's okay.
Cream of the crop.
Yeah, it's okay because you're still a part of a very small statistics, and it's okay. And I hate when people do that. I hate when people look down on G League, on whatever lower leagues. No, don't stop doing that because you haven't even made nowhere.
Right.
Unless you were LeBron James that's sitting there and saying, oh, yeah, G League. But I've never seen him do that.
Yeah, right.
So what are we talking about?
The people who actually had a license to do that don't do that.
Exactly. So it's like, stop ever. Or like if you played pro and you played overseas, it's great. You made it. You've seen the world, bro.
Yeah.
You've seen more than many people have seen, and it's so important to do that. So it's like...
It's the armchair quarterbacks that do that.
Yeah, I hate when people do that, and I have a lot of, I used to have friends who would be like, oh, I ain't going to a G League game. I'm like, bitch. Where have you... What sport have you played? Oh, I had to cut those people off. Yeah. I literally had to stop talking. I had to block their contacts because I cannot... to me, the fact that you're looking down upon somebody who's done something extraordinary, you ain't done nothing. And again, it's a developing league. So it's like...
That's a step up.
It's a step up. And then, when people look up the stats for NBA players, and I'm like, do you know how many people are in the NBA in a given year? It's 500 people. To be a part of 500 out of the 7 billion people on the planet, you tripping.
Yeah.
You tripping.
For sure.
You tripping.
For sure.
So I have mad respect for all the athletes for whatever level that is, and I used to be one of those girls that's like, oh, he's in a practice squad, I'm not going to talk to him. Now I'm like, it is what it is. It's practice squad is practice squad. Not everybody can make it there. So I think it's important to give yourself credit for what you've done, for where you're going, and then, just have a goal and know where you're going. For sure. What can you tell my people where they can find you, like on your socials? Courtside Les everywhere, and then Talk Less Show on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. So starting whole new YouTube journey with Talk Less Show clips, Talk Less Show shorts. So you can find us there. There's a lot of great guests that are coming on. I am so blessed and grateful for everything that's happening. I have some very, very, very major people out of the entertainment industry that's going to be on my show. So tune in. Definitely, support. I am very, very responsive on YouTube. So if you do leave a comment there, I will most likely respond to it.
Go flood our comments on YouTube.
Please.
I'm going to leave 10 on each episode.
Go ahead. There's going to be every episodes are dropping on Thursdays at 7 p.m. So I drop weekly. There's a lot of episodes. There's a lot of great content. I'm starting over. So all the new episodes that are coming on Talk Less Show YouTube channel, and then the old ones, they're still on the Courtside Les channel. Mm-hmm. So if you want to watch Charleston White episode, if you want to watch Tori Craig, Josh Powell, they're all on the Courtside Les channel.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, appreciate y'all for tuning in to the Developing Athletes podcast. I got my girl with me, Courtside Les. She gave so much game coming from Russia, playing tennis, transitioning into entrepreneurship, just so much game. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Courtside Les, everybody.
Thank you guys for having me.
For sure.
Oh, hold up. Talkless.shop. That's where you can find my merch. So if you want to wear this Talk Less Do More, that's on talkless.shop. And there's a lot more that's dropping on there.
You got one to fit me?
Yeah, what size are you? I want more.
I'm a 2X tall.
I got you.
Yeah, you should, as a tall person, you should have a tall.
So I got the 2X. Yeah, I got the 2X.
All right.
So, see, a lot of people have a problem with lips, but fuck them.
I like the lips.
There you go. See, I got you.
They might need to be red. I like the red.
I had the red one.
Yeah.
I have the red one too.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's a lot that's dropping. So
I'm gonna send you a package. You send me a package.
We can just bring it to each other. We don't have to send it.
We got to meet at yoga though, because we.
Okay, we got to go to yoga next week.
We hold each other accountable. We got to hold each other accountable.
It's like the two people that are almost touching the ceiling. You know.
Yeah. We got to be each other's. Help each other get through it.
Yeah, I used to do yoga so much. I used to be like a yoga fanatic. I used to be in yoga 5 times a week, and I'm
like bi-yearly.
Bi-yearly. No, now I'm like biannual too, but we need to do that. Yoga is great.
Yeah.
Shout out to ISO Yoga.
ISO Yoga.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. I'm so sorry.
How you said it in Russian?
We don't have that in Russian. We just say yoga.
Yoga?
Yeah. But it's the hot yoga.
Give us some Russian. Give us the bad words.
Пошли вы все нахуй.
What that mean?
Fuck y'all.
Hold on. Bakshi?
Пошли вы нахуй.
Are you still recording that? Hold on. How you say it? One more time.
Let's not say that.
Oh, fuck y'all.
Пошли вы все нахуй.
Баши, гусе,
нахуй.
Нахуй.
That's a horrible thing. No, I love y'all. Я вас всех люблю. Я вас люблю.
Я вас люблю.
Я вас люблю.
I
there
love
you
y'all.
Go. I love y'all. Yep.
I love y'all.
All right.